Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Daybreak 2. We are in Amsterdam and we are about to check out on the film location, but before we do that, we have one more for SPG we want to finish, and that's by helping these two kids finding their long lost friend Jad, which they haven't seen in a while. So let's see what's up with that. Hey, we're looking for Tony and Mina that put out a request for us. Is that you two? I'm from Arkride Solutions. We're gonna for SPG. Whoa, you really showed up. See? I told you it would work. Do you mind if we explain our request? Sure, I'm all ears. Okay, well, the thing is, there's this boy who goes to Sunday school with us. His name is Chad, and he can be a little rough around the edges sometimes. He skips school a bunch, gets into fights with the other kids. Definitely sounds like a handful. Yeah, he really is. And no matter how many times the adults yell at him, he never listens. But none of that stuff means he's a bad person, you know? He just had a hard time expressing himself. Anyway, the problem is that Jad's... Well, 3 days ago, he stopped coming to school, and we haven't really seen him since. He stopped coming without saying a word to anybody? That's what we think anyway. I know he's got a lot of stuff going on at home, but his dad hasn't reached out to anyone either. Then maybe he's just skipping school. I don't think so. See, Jet might not like most things he does, but he does like me and Tony. That's why whenever he skips classes, he still comes out to play with us. But it's been 3 whole days since we've seen him. There's gotta be something wrong. I see. Well, I can't blame you for being worried, honestly. Oh right, the teachers have also been acting pretty weird today. I think they've been talking about Jad. But whenever we ask about what they're talking about, they just say it's grown-up business and that we don't need to worry about it. How could they even say that to us? Jad's our friend. Anyway, that's why I decided to come to you for help. Can you please figure out what's going on with Jad? Look, I get that you really care about this kid, but I'm not sure this is a job for a spriggan. You seriously about to turn down a little kid, Arkride? What a shame. This seemed like a wonderful opportunity to witness a spriggan in action for once. Hey, come on, Van. I get this probably falls more onto the guild's bucket, but I'm worried about our friend too. Wow, no pressure, right? Well, this really isn't the kind of job I'd normally take, but it sounds like I'll have my hands full if I don't. Guess there's nothing to do but to do it. We'll take your request. I'm not sure if we'll be of any help though. Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, we start by talking to your Sunday school teachers first. Sounds like they know a thing or two about what happened to Jad. Yeah, I think they were having a meeting about him earlier. Father Quentin and Sister Olga are inside the chapel right now. If you find anything, let us know as soon as possible. Will do.
Let's get this party started.
A friend gone missing. This is the first time Jed hasn't shown up 3 days in a row. Trouble like to follow him around, so he's probably got a lot happening at home, so I just hope everything's okay with him. I know this is grown-up business, but Jed's my friend. He's important to me. So, can you find out what's going on with him for us, please? We don't have any proof, Olga. But we can simply do nothing. I'm going to the police station to file a report. Sorry to interrupt, but we were wondering if we could ask you a few questions. Oh, yes, of course. What seems to be the problem? Well, you see, I'm a spriggan and we just got a request from a couple of kids that go to Sunday school here. They wanted us to look into where their friend Jed is. They're worried about him. That must be Tony and Mina. They ask about him every chance they can get. I'm surprised they even tried to hire a spriggan though. I mean no offense, but you should really let the church handle something like this. I am not sure how comfortable I feel sharing information on one of our children with a complete stranger. That's about the reaction I expected, honestly. Hey, it's way harder to do this sort of thing in Mesodem than it is in the capital, huh? I mean, practically everyone knows your face back home. I'll vouch for them. They may not look like it, but they're actually pretty trustworthy. Although, give Mr. Arkride exceptionally dubious character, your reaction is understandable. Don't worry, if he does anything that would offend the goddess, we'll make sure he receives due punishment. You really have to have it out for me, huh? Well, those robes. Are you with the congregation for the sacrament? Yeah, sorry for barging in on your conversation, but you were just saying something about filing a report? Why not ask these guys for help first? I'm surprised that you place so much trust in him. Personally, I still have my reservations, but, well, maybe this is Ideos' will. Ah, so you'll let us handle it? Yes, we would be happy to have your assistance. First, let me explain. As you know, Jet hasn't been to school in 3 days, despite us trying to keep an eye on him. Having heard nothing from the boy, we made a trip to his house this morning to see what's going on. When we did, however, we were surprised to hear that he'd simply never come home in the first place. Sounds like things are even worse than we thought. So he's completely missing then? Yes, and yet, Jet's father said he had no intention of notifying the authorities. His response to the matter was simply, "I'm sure he'll come back eventually." But after that, he also said something to the effect of, "He'll be sorry for putting me through all this." Sounds like he doesn't care at all about his son's safety. Talk about a rough house. Yes. We believe it's possible that Jet's being abused. We've witnessed his father get upset with him on several occasions. He occasionally comes into school with injuries as well. Not the kind you expect from fighting with other kids either. However, his father claimed they are all Jet's doing. He says he gets them while playing because he's so competitive and quick to get into fights with other children. Hey, I know we just agreed to take this on, but maybe it's better we leave this to the police. You think so too then? I disagree. Yeah, going to the police is out of the question. For the moment at least. What are you talking about? The kid could be in serious trouble right now. Look, the cops are going to deal with this one or two ways. Either they send him back to his old man, or they place him in protective custody. Plus, if there is not enough evidence, or Jet and his father have conflicting stories, the investigation alone will take months. In other words, any potential resolution would be brought to a standstill. That would only serve to make things worse for Jet. I suppose that's true. That's why you should let us investigate first. Ah, I see what you mean. Didn't think you ever thought that far ahead. Hey, it's just, I get why kids would want to run away from home. I've been through my own share of stuff in the past after all. Well, I'm riding your coattail on a little on this one, but I agree with you. That said, you're welcome to put a report with the police, but would you mind waiting a bit? At least until we have a chance to do our own thing. Yes, of course, we understand. I guess our first step should be Jet's house then. It's the one right by the entrance to the back streets. Please, do whatever you can to help him. Sure, we'll go see what we can find. Yeah, it does sound very dubious. Jet's house is in a back street by the port. I know I shouldn't say this, but this father can be a bit frightening. Please be careful, everyone. I'm inclined to ask what it's that brought the Congregation of Sacraments to our city, but assuming you've already explained yourself to Father Rodian, I will prioritize this matter with Jet for now. Please, do what you can for him. Oh, that we will definitely do. Well, let's see if we can force our way into his home. Okay, this must be the place. Yeah, sounds like the dad's going to be a real piece of work though. Don't you think it'll be a little tough to get info from him? There's no way he won't be on guard with us. Yeah, I think it'll be best if we form the plan first. You're actually starting to sound like a spriggan. Well, this is exactly what I've been looking forward to. Well, first we should make sure the ones doing the questioning are the least intimidating out of all of us. I've got a voice recorder here too, just in case. Also, I've got a job for zeros. For zeros? Well, I guess I don't mind, as long as you actually have a plan. Yeah, I'll take care of it when the time comes. Now, let's get this show on the road. You know, considering we were traveling together anyway, I figure we might as well help him out. But how are we the least intimidating ones? He really thinks he can get away with pushing us around like this? Still, I do think he made the right call. We might as well resign ourselves to it and knock already. Leon knocked on the door to Chet's house. Yeah, and the way they are least intimidating is because no matter what, they still look like people from the cloth. And they've been to his house already, so he wouldn't be too surprised if they showed up again. Damn it, and I was just starting to get a bus going. Hey, ain't seen you around here before. You with the church? If it's about my kid, I already covered it with the others. Oh, pleased to meet you. We actually just started working with the church here in Messeldam. We heard about Jed from the others. As his father, I'm sure you must be horribly distraught. So, you see, we thought that perhaps we might be of some help. Yeah, that's right. We want to help look for Jed. Nah, don't bother yourself about it. I'm not sure if he's run away or what, but that's probably just cause I gave him a pretty harsh talking to a few days ago. Give him a day or two and he always comes back. This isn't the first time you run away? I mean, 3 days is a bit of a first, but otherwise, no. Why do I have to sit here and answer all these dumb questions anyway? Wish that the broad I was dating never dropped him on me in the first place. I mean, all the kid ever does is mouth off. Doesn't clean, doesn't cook. If it weren't for the money I get for housing him, he would be worth spit to me. He ought to be grateful he has got a roof above his head. This man is every bit as unpleasant as we were led to believe. I can't believe... You got something you want to say to me, Missy? Oh, I said I can't say what I believe of the lousy piece of shit you... Oh my goodness, where are our manners? The sister here has a very particular tick, you see. It presents like verbal abuse on occasion. Well, seems like they're hanging on by a thread over there. Maybe it'll still work out? They did seem pretty unhappy about it all. Hey, but choosing them was the right choice. He's less likely to be on guard with someone from the church. I mean, after the visit they had earlier, why wouldn't they send someone else over? Oh, would you look at that? I think they're wrapping up. I see, so they're not actually blood related. And the only reason he's keeping him around is because of the welfare he gets from the government and the church? Shitty old bastard, creeps like that make me sick. No, I didn't see any signs of a child in the house anywhere. Given the way his father was acting, it's likely he hasn't been back since he left. On a separate note, I admire your incredible willingness to force work onto others, Van. Truly an admirable quality for a spriggan. Yeah, sorry to throw you guys into the deep like that. You were a big help. Alright, this next bit is up to our Zyvas and Zeros. Ah, you're talking about the scent of the house you had Zeros pick up, right? You just need to have him compared against any other scents in the city using shard search. Think you can do that, Zeros? Guess we're all set then. We'll take it from here. I guess we can let the clergy rest for a little. Of course, happy to oblige. And maybe this time we'll actually get to see you do something for once. They're actually standing by? No, they're still following. I see scent clouds. Oh, that shit, that goes right over our quest marker. And we'll see if it's triggered or not. Ooh, big pup. Ah, it's gonna be the bathhouse. That's what the old lady was talking about. Or is it?
Maybe do a shard search.
This seems to be where the trail ends. The fact that it led us to a trash can doesn't exactly fill me with relief though. Yeah, talk about a bad omen. But I guess a lead's a lead. Now let's see what's inside. Right, here we go. So that's all it was. Oh, thank the goddess. I was afraid we were gonna find a kid stuffed in there. Hey, you've been watching way too many thrillers, Judith. Although I was also starting to get a little bit spooked. Well, let's see what's inside. An old mop, scrub brush, a large towel. All that, and there's also looks like an old worn out set of kids' clothes in here. I assume Zeros must have picked up a scent on the clothes. Well, I'm sure they're Jet's, but why were they thrown away? Well, the items were gathered together pretty neatly. Doesn't feel like somebody trying to dispose of evidence. Maybe whoever threw this stuff out just wanted to get Jet to a change of clothes. Well, they are pretty dirty. Probably want the kid to clean up a bit. Do you think someone's trying to take care of him? That seems like a pretty likely possibility. The question is who? We should be able to narrow it down based on the contents of the bag. Yeah, it doesn't really look like your typical family trash. It probably came from one of the shops around here. In that case, maybe it was... I think it's like a bathhouse, depending on the reaction of the old lady we heard earlier. The bathhouse. Whoever works there definitely knows where Jet is. Oh, that makes sense. A bathhouse would totally have all those items. Huh, you're right. I hadn't even thought about it. I take it that means we have our next stop, yes? Yeah, let's go see what they have to say. Yeah, this is more, I guess, based upon the texts they had earlier. A good reason why talking to everyone can definitely pay off.
Oh, nothing like a good hot bath.
Excuse me, ma'am. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Oh, certainly. What would you like to know? You're not taking care of a child here by any chance, are you? We're looking for a little boy named Jad. Oh, may I ask why you're looking for him? Well, we spoke with a few people at chapel who were worried about him. They haven't seen him for 3 days now. Yeah, and we promised we'd do whatever we could to find him. Is there any way we can convince you to trust us? No, it's alright. It's plain to see you're good folk. However, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you, three. Jet just ran off a few minutes ago. The boy practically burst out of the door like his tail was on fire. Did something happen? Well, you see, maybe it's best if I start from the beginning. If you don't mind. I've been worried about that boy for a while now. You see, his father is far from being a good man. Say, some time back, I saw him push the kid to steal something from the souvenir store. Then 3 days ago, I noticed him wandering around all by himself at night. I called out to him and I noticed that his cheeks were swollen, like he's been beaten. I figured I would patch him up a bit. So that's how he ended up staying here with you. Must mean you're the one who had him change into a different set of clothes. Oh, you knew about that? Yes, that was me. I was lucky enough to have some clothes of around this size that we usually reserve for customers. So I had him change into those, and I gave him a meal so he'd be easy on his stomach. That's very kind of you, ma'am. Sure explains what he's been up to these last 3 days. Which leads us back to him running out of here a minute ago, right? Oh, he certainly seems to be feeling better. You see, I was thinking of asking him if he'd like to stay here permanently. You want him to become his legal guardian? I am impressed that you'd be willing to take on that kind of responsibility. Well, my husband passed away, and my only son is living elsewhere with his own family. I hardly know what to do with myself if I don't have someone to look after. And in the end, it just wouldn't sit right with me if I sent him back to that awful father of his. Oh, you won't find any disagreement here. I was in the middle of asking him what the thought of me taking him in, but that's when he up and ran off. I'm sure he probably just needs some time to think it over. Well, I think you've painted a pretty clear picture. So that Jet probably hasn't gone all too far either. Oh, I'm sure he's nearby. He's probably over by the lighthouse. I'm a bit worried about him catching a cold in this weather though. If you don't mind, would you be willing to go check on him for me? Of course, it'll be no problem. Well, I guess we'll finally meet Jet. Let's go. Yeah, an abusive father. This old lady is definitely a better person to look out for him. Definitely. You sure got cold out here. Hey, what a long face, kid. Who are you? It's none of your business. Actually, it's very much our business. We were planning to go take a bath over at the bathhouse, but the old lady at the counter was in a bit of a tizzy. We asked her if there was a problem, and she said she was so worried about this little boy who ran out that she couldn't focus on work. Huh? I didn't realize. So, are you this Jet she was talking about? If something's bothering you, why don't we talk it out? Otherwise we might never get a turn in those baths. That's a very interesting approach. You seem very well versed in dealing with kids too. Well, the thing is, that old lady asked me if I wanted to stay with her. She gave me all these new clothes, fed me a ton of food. I didn't know what to think of it at first, but it was way better than anything I ever had at home. Sounds pretty great to me. Why not give it a try for a while? Give it a try? How do you expect me to do that, huh? If I did, it'd be like I was running away from my dad. And this isn't a matter of pride, though. If he's treating you poorly, it's okay to run away, don't you think? That's the coward's way out, and I'm no coward. I've never lost a fight. But this old lady... Sure, she treats me like I'm her kid right now, but it's all just for show. She's gotta be just like my old man. She just wants me for the mirror. Do you really believe that? Yeah, of course I do. All grown-ups are just liars and phonies. She almost had me fooled too. Glad I came out here to cool my head. You came out here to cool your head, and that's your answer? You're even bigger dumbass than I thought. He's got you so screwed up in the head that you don't even know how to accept some goddamn human decency. Hey, isn't he just going a bit too far here? Yeah, she's really laying into him. Nah, she's letting her handle this one. Why do you gotta yell at me like that? Just like my old man. Listen, you wanna know why I'm so angry? It's because you said something wrong, and I think you know what it is. What do you mean? You know exactly what I mean. That old lady is genuinely worried about you. She wants to help you however she can. She doesn't deserve to have her feelings spat on, just because you think she's only in it for the mirror or whatever. Why are you saying all this? I know I was out of line saying all that stuff a minute ago, and I know she's actually really nice. It's just... If I went to live with her, I'd have to explain it to my old man. Look, I don't know what your dad will say if you try to leave, but it sounds to me like you want to take the old lady up on her offer. But you're too scared of your old dad to do it. Hey, what you're missing is the courage to be honest with yourself. If you want to leave home, maybe tell some adults how you're feeling instead of trying to deal with it all on your own. Us, that old lady, and the people at the church are all here to help you. Hey, you said you've never lost a fight, right? Well, you don't have to lose this one either. Okay, I'll try. That's the spirit. See? You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Phew. I wasn't sure that was gonna turn out so well for a minute there. But it looks all's well that ends well. Yeah, there's one more case in the bag. That's the delinquent sister for you. Indeed. She's a lot kinder than she lets on. It's, if a bit of a busybody. Alright, let's head back. I know I got a little steamed there, but I'll leave the rest to you, Spriggan. Hey, no harm done. Alright, let's go and get Angela. Then we'll head to the chapel to talk everything over. And so they went back to Angela and then headed back to the chapel. Tony and Mina gave Jet a bit of a scolding, but the three were more than happy to be reunited. In the meantime, Van's group sat down with the head of the church, Vicar Rodion, to discuss Jet's future. And that's why I decided to take the boy in. If possible, I'd like to become his guardian, so that he can continue to live with me. I am sure this would have gone much smoother if I consulted with the church first. I am very sorry for all the trouble. There's no need to apologize. Some of the blame lies with us for not doing more from the beginning. Besides, it should be relatively simple to register him with your name and household. Considering it also sounds like that's Jet's wish, I'd say we can go ahead and start moving things in that direction. Well, the real problem is what to do about his old man. Yeah, that's going to be the most critical part. You make it sound like you've already got a plan in mind. You gonna share with the class? Yes, if that's true, we'd certainly like to hear it. Well, the way I see it, we've got two options. The first option would be to hand him over to the police, and the second option, we don't turn him in at all. Wouldn't handing him over to the police be the obvious choice? I think so too. We already have testimony from Angela and the boy himself that he was being abused. We even have those recorded statements from when we spoke to the father earlier. He should be held accountable for what he's done. Even if he's brought in, his case won't be tried as a serious crime. If Jet has harmed to the point of nearly being killed, that would have been a different story. But because he's mostly been able to attend school regularly, there's a likelihood that his father could get off with a light sentence. If that's the case, then I can understand why we wouldn't want to get the police involved. But you don't plan to let the father get off scot-free either, right? Right. I'm going to have him sign a contract. It'll guarantee that he's not only leaves Mezzalem, but that he never makes contact with Jet again. Well, it certainly won't be a loss for the community. And if we threaten to expose his other crimes to the police upon a breach of contract, he should have no issue agreeing to our terms. That's a pretty good idea. But it also means that Jerk won't have to face judgment. He can just leave to start a new life somewhere else, like it's no big deal. Even thinking about it pisses me off. I think it's most important we make sure he adheres to the contract. And to be frank, I'm not totally convinced we'll be able to get him to sign. I suppose we'll have to rely on a spriggan's experience for once more. I imagine there's no other clear solution to this issue. You're all much more closely aware of Jet's concerns than we are, so I'd like to take your perspective into account on this matter. Well, I guess it's up to you, Van. Well, if you want my opinion, maybe we should turn him over to the police so he'll actually have to pay for his crimes. Or do we let him off with signing a contract? In all honesty, the only thing I fear is that if we hand him over to the police and he gets a lighter sentence, there's a chance he doesn't want to give up the custody over Jet. And Jet will have to force living with him because he's actually his father. I think getting him to sign a contract gives us a better guarantee that he won't be in town anymore to mess with Jet, and Jet can have a stable, safe life with the bathhouse lady. So from the get-go, when I heard both plans, I was mostly intrigued by getting him to sign a contract, in all honesty. So I'm gonna go with that. I think we should have him sign a contract. Choosing what's best for that kid's future has to take priority over meting out punishment to this old man. And from that perspective, if he ever tries to get revenge, we'll have our excuses to hand him over to the police. I see where you're coming from. You make a very convincing argument, very well. The church will move forward as you suggested. Soon after, Van's group arrived at Jet's father's house with the contract already in hand. It stated, the undersigned agrees to leave Mezzalem immediately, to never seek contact with Jet or bring him any harm for the rest of his life. Any breach of this contract will result in the undersigned past crimes being brought to light and reported to the appropriate authorities. The bit about his past crimes was a bluff on Van's part, but Jet's father sensing truth in Van's claims. And let's be honest, we did hear that he made the kid steal from the stores in town. That alone is already like the tip of the iceberg of the crimes he committed. So it's not a vain threat, it's just that we don't have actually hard evidence on it. But He does not know that. Finally relented and agreed to sign the contract.
That's all, folks.
A friend gone missing completed.
Reward deposited.
Right, a rank up on the scales. Fortitude, 400 for the SPGs, and 5,000 tokens obtained with search. So there's even more? Ah, there's a lot of MVPs. Oh, they are here as Martin Garten. So I'm guessing eventually they will become more permanent members and we'll get to take them to the gardens? Alright, why not? Okay, let's get to the... Okay, is that still outside the house? Probably not. Nope. So let's get to the church. And talk to all the parties involved. So, does that mean you're gonna be living with the lady from the bathhouse now? Pretty much, yeah. I see, and that's a relief. But you'd be better not cause any problems for Miss Angela, okay? That means no horsing around and breaking vases like you always do. Huh? You're not the boss of me. No wonder nagging shrews like you always end up alone. Hey, who are you calling a shrew? Calm down, you two. And just like that, the fights are on. Good to see the kid hasn't lost his moxie though. I owe you guys a big time for setting me straight. But that doesn't mean I have to just lie down and take it when these two get on my case. What I'm saying is, I've got this handled, so shut up and stay out of it, okay? I hear you. Just make sure you do it right. I kinda miss seeing the two of them like this. Thanks for helping Jet out, Mr. Spriggan. I thought Jet had mellowed out after coming back, but he's already his usual self again. Still, it's kind of a relief in more ways than one. I really am glad we asked for your help. Me too. Because the kid definitely deserves a better life. I can't tell you how grateful I am for your help. That extends to the congregation of the sacraments as well, of course. Thank you so much for guiding Jet into the right path. Hey, I may not act it, but I'm still a sister. It was nothing, really. Heck, I probably went a little too hard on the kid.
Alrighty.
It's reassuring to know that Jet's guardianship will be in trustworthy hands. If nothing else, we'll do our part to ensure that the road he walks from here on is a bright one. We owe a great debt to both Arkride Solutions and the Congregation of the Sacraments. As for Jet's custody proceedings, I will be taking care of the particulars. In addition, I intend to keep a close watch on that father of his for a while. Rest assured that we will see this matter to its rightful conclusion. Good. So the church knows what it's doing. It's making sure the lawful side is settled so that Jet is officially part of Angela's household. Also making sure that Dad doesn't quite to squeal out under the contract by getting back into town. Because that just wouldn't be helpful, would it?
Nothing like a good hot bath.
Oh, thank goodness things with Jet have been sorted out for the better. Don't you fret, I've taken it upon myself to raise that boy right. He's still out speaking with his friends from Sunday school. I plan on heading over to pick him up later. Be sure to drop in for a bath if you get a chance, by the way. We'll always be happy to have you. Yeah, we'll definitely be coming by more often, I assure you.
Would you like to use
I still have to pay for it, come on. We helped you get a child. I should definitely get to bathe there for free, come on.
Why, hello there.
The air's been getting chillier this morning, but there's nothing we Amsterdam locals aren't used to. Now then, time to ready up for a good hard day of work. If I keep my spirits high, my body temperature is sure to follow. I think I'll recommend some slightly warmer apparel to any tourist who come in today.
Let me know if you need anything at all.
I mainly want to see on the ingredient side of things. Maybe go for 10 instead. It's maybe a bit expensive for now, but definitely help with the cooking. And since I only know the eggs are for certainly needed,
Please come back anytime.
we will. Alright, let's get back to the hotel and see if we can make the next few dishes and then eat them up to see if they're enough to rank us up once again. Because any extra stats points will definitely help our cause.
Well, I can try. Alright, it's done.
Sure, I don't mind. Let me know what you think.
Piece of cake.
Cobb salad.
I don't want to hear any complaining.
Alright. It's not a lot, but you never know. There it is. Rank 8. Attack, art attack, up 8. Good.
That was
It's a lot of
delish.
points.
That was delish.
Oh my. Alright. Well, I think with that, I'm gonna leave the episode here. On the next one, we'll go to the movie shoot, because I think with how long this episode was, I feel like I made the right choice the last time, and it will be the right choice for today's episode as well. So on the next one, we'll go to the movie shoot and see where it goes from there. So for now, I wish you a great night, morning, day, wherever you are, and if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time. So until then, bye bye.